Hey, everybody!
Hey.
Welcome back to another episode of Outsourcing and More. My name is Francis.
And I'm Penny.
We talk about another topic, something that is. I feel like I'm a little bit closer to this now because before we started out as
Yeah.
freelancers, and we were kind of working for ourselves, but
Yes.
now we kind of built this little thing. We thought it's just gonna be a little baby, maybe a little side project, but so for those of you who again are not aware, Penny and I are co-CEOs of our little company called Virtual Solutions Outsourcing.
Yep.
Yeah. It kind of started as one of those like little Upwork projects because
Yes.
that's really what it was, and um,
And then referrals just keep coming
it
in.
really did keep coming in. We
Yeah.
started with three people, me, Penny, and then one other agent. Shout out to my super best friend and employee number three, Rocky Thompson
Hey,
Alegre.
Rocky.
Yeah, hi. He's been a rock,
Yes.
honestly, literally a rock. He just, he's kind of like one of those people that you're just so glad to be,
A part of,
a
yeah.
part. Yeah, he. I mean, I guess his name really, you know, describes his personality. Is just pretty solid. Yun. But also like a rock. He's also pretty hard to like convince to move. He's just ever. You really have to like move mountains in order to convince him to just like come on, join us. But when he does, it's super fun. But anyway, it's it's a that funny little story that we grew from three people to four people to five people. So I think we're really
And
taking
then
it that
multiple
seriously.
accounts. And
And then it
then,
started with multiple accounts. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So now, I guess we're happy to say that for something that I maybe half and half feeling that are we going to take this seriously? Are we going to find another path? But it just went forward from 2017. We grew from three people to how many are we now?
Uh, 70.
Oh my God. Is it
Yeah.
fast? I think it's fast. I mean, to be fair, the blessings really just kept
Yes.
coming in,
Yeah.
didn't it? And
I
our
think it,
family
it
just
all
grew.
it's all because you just, kept our heads down and just kept on working.
Yeah,
And I think we're doing something,
right.
yeah, right.
I really think we do. But that leads us, I guess, to our topic. How the heck? Well, or rather, so our topic officially says what makes Filipinos the best in the BPO industry. Okay, so like when the topic was handed to us, I mean,
Mm.
we don't really decide because I feel like we have a million thoughts that we really want to keep. And when you're like that, you can't decide. Or maybe we can. We just wanted somebody to say, give us a topic to talk about, and we will. And again, when I saw this, like, sige, let's start it off. What are your initial thoughts when you heard that
I,
phrase?
I'd start this off with an anecdote from one of our clients that I've been working with close to a decade now. Tony. Hey, Tony. I'm
Hi,
hoping
Tony.
you're listening.
If you're listening, hello. Shout out
Hi.
to you and your amazing
Yeah.
prowess. Thank you for Blue Maple
Yeah.
and for us
Um,
growing with you.
yeah. I think, well, there was one time when he said that he'd rather work with Filipinos as compared to any other
Okay.
country. And I think he
That's not
has some.
that's not sarcasm. I
No.
drank. No, I drank. Got in.
Tony, look at Frankie.
No
No,
sarcasm
he
at all.
did. He did. And I think one of the things he said, because Filipinos are extremely hardworking, extremely easy to talk to. We do.
I'm not done.
Sorry.
Get that off. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, extremely easy.
Hardworking.
Yeah, extremely easy to work with, and we also do get references,
We
like
do.
yeah,
And then let's not take note. Let's take note that uh, in the beginning, that's
mm,
where we met.
yes,
Yeah, and I think it was Tony's initiative to say, you were so back in the day. And when I say back in the day, this was like way back 2013.
and you know what? I was thinking about this earlier this morning, like how
Is
many
that
years we've known each other.
yeah?
I think close to eight,
Is it? I mean, we started. When did we start contacting?
2013. I
13.
started there 2012, so 2013 for you.
So it's a decade. It's an
Oh
actual
yeah.
decade.
Oh yeah.
Happy anniversary.
Anyway,
2013,
yeah.
Penny was employee number one. She started off with hiring Alex, another really good friend
Yes.
of ours, and who was also part of Virtua. Uh, I went in as employee number three
Three.
back in
Employee number
2013
3 in the support team.
in the support team, yeah. And that's when we said we should turn this into a team, and we
Yeah.
decided to take the reins and
Build.
just help them out.
Yeah.
There's a process to be built, and they're busy building the product because,
Yes.
three founders, none of them were technically. They were all focused on the product side,
Yes.
right? And then they had success managers, but they weren't really. In their head they were thinking of somebody to answer the phones, but it didn't. It felt like we could help them out process wise,
Yes.
and I feel like that's where it really started out.
Yeah, we really just took over the support
we
team.
kind of did.
Yeah,
And then
building the
you-
processes, hiring, even the training we
Mhm.
did, and I think that's why they kept referring us to
And
the other people.
yeah, that's when the
But-
first big referral actually started.
Yeah, and I think that's the reason why Tony has said this. Has what I said earlier about like extremely hardworking people. Filipinos don't just work; they do care about what they're working for
Cool.
or towards or who they're working for as well.
With
who they're working
our
with.
prepositions are are over the place. And then that also leads us, when we got our first big referral, it was like it was a it was a hurdle, So GH Choi Blackman, hi, you're in Google now if I remember correctly, or maybe you've moved on, I don't know yet, but I'll look you up later. She was the one who interviewed us, made sure, and then brought in the team. We were with her when we grew from 2 agents to I think 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And that was just feedback. They liked the work.
Yeah.
Obviously, otherwise they either would have gotten or just maybe kept us to a small number. But right now, and we have so many shout outs today.
I know. You've been dropping names left and right.
I have been dropping names left and right. I will start off because one of our biggest bread and butters. I'm trying to remember if we can mention, but to my good friend and client Imran, I've heard that same feedback. I love them. I want to work with them. If it's possible at all, I would hire all of the support staff. I maybe he was BSing. No, but I mean, to be fair, they needed an onshore and an offshore team. So, but that it's just a reflection of what I feel is what they think of the work. That's a lot of
No,
That's a lot of
but
lifting
we're
on
saying
our-
all these things because we're hearing it from clients.
Yes.
It's not just you got it off some website because Filipinos or this, that, whatever, right?
Speaking
These
of
are what we hear.
yeah, directly from our
Directly
guys. So
from
we're
clients.
we're talking from experience, and I mean everybody who has a client can speak from experience, but that's ours. But speaking of grabbing things from the website, I mean I asked myself, I mean back then was I being fed propaganda because call centers were showing up left and right back then. And my history, I started off in the sunshine industry of call centers way back 2004.
You're revealing your age.
I am revealing my
Francis.
age. I am revealing my age. But looking at the statistics, as early as 2009, and this is from I've actually been following the staffvirtual.com for the longest time. But wait, one of their articles say that Philippines is second in the top 100 outsourcing destination list. Second. It didn't say who the first one was. But I'm guessing India.
Let's not drop.
I think we're just dropping countries.
Now
If the
dropping countries.
If the Philippines
Earlier
is
dropping names, now dropping.
I mean, if the Philippines is the second, I mean, who
But
else can
that's-
be the first?
Yeah, that's true.
Because it didn't say, but I'm guessing.
But if you think about it, there's worldwide.
Worldwide, second.
Second.
Yeah.
Why do you think so?
I mean, why do I think so? I mean, what makes the Philippines very desirable as a as an outsourcing uh destination? I know for a fact that I see the Philippines as, primarily an English speaking country, and that means there's a lot of people, a lot of
Yeah.
resources that
A
can
lot of
feed,
talent.
yeah, that they can feed on.
Sorry, another inside joke from a previous.
One of these days, I will have to tell you guys this joke. It was super fun, but
And he was super mean.
it was super mean.
But anyway, but yeah, companies do have a lot of talent to work with
They
in
yeah,
the
and that
Philippines. It's not just customer support. I
yeah.
mean, right now there's a huge demand for IT, right? Tech developers, and they can source,
Worldwide.
yeah, worldwide, but they can
There's
also
such,
source it in the
but
Philippines.
just to be very clear, when you say like IT,
Yeah,
there's
there's
a
a
ton of
ton.
subcategories
Yeah.
for it. But what we're really talking about is like the software development. But
Yes.
early in the day, when so a lot of people incorrectly equate the word BPO, business process
To just
outsourcing,
support
with the no call centers,
call centers.
which is voice.
Voice, yeah.
So that's why you have organizations like CCA, Call
Yeah.
Center Association of the Philippines. But when you say business process outsourcing, it's literally like parts of your business that you wanted to outsource. It's not
Yes.
just support,
Exactly.
voice, non-voice, or otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, when you're a company who says, and the reality is, we want to outsource mainly because it's either due to either the lack of local talent that they have,
Mm-hmm.
or in light of the recent recession, the cost
Mm-hmm.
of maintaining such a large operation,
Yeah.
right? And when you're going to outsource that, if you're going to outsource that process, yeah, if you're gonna outsource that process, you really want to find yourself in a location where there's a talent pool
Yes.
that won't dry up anytime soon. I mean, there's, and please do not take this the wrong way, but there are there's outsourcing
Yes.
uh
There's a lot of talent outside the Philippines too.
outside the Philippines, exactly.
Mm.
But sometimes the harsh reality is that there's language barriers.
Yes.
So that like the right skill set is there,
Mm-hmm.
but you might not necessarily look to. I wonder if I'm gonna shoot myself in the ass doing this, but I might not, like, if I own the business, I might not necessarily look to a country like Ukraine for. Oh my God, no. It's like the worst country to use as an example right
I
now.
know.
Wait, I'm gonna backtrack just the tiniest bit. Wait, it's not Belarus, for example, because and I know for a fact that we have some colleagues in
Mm-hmm.
Belarus, but they're more on the IT software development
Yeah.
side. And that's necessary. That's where your mind would go to when you say, I need a team to build an app for, but they wouldn't be the first choice when it comes to support.
Yeah.
Number one, either the cost is too high because it's a high cost of living sort of country.
But you also have to recognize the fact that there are a lot of um, outsourced contractors, outsourced agents here that are not just doing support and are also doing development.
Yes,
Like,
exactly.
of course, their first mind is going to go Belarus, but the Philippines does have that talent, and I think it's also because of the fact that way back in the early 2000s there was a boom. Like, if previous years you were thinking Filipinos would do like nursing, right?
Oh yeah.
Nursing, right? And then it
We
became
had
IT or
we had
computer science, computer
14.
engineering, like a
Mm,
lot of those. And
those
there,
were the top two.
yeah, those were the top
I
two.
remember, like, back then, BS biology had like 4 sections, psychology had 4 sections, but nursing had 15 sections.
Yeah.
Computer science had 18, I think. My brother is a computer science guy. I
Mm.
remember there were like ComSci 1, and then how many, like, their first year had like 18 uh, batches. What do you call them? Like sections.
Yes, batch sections.
Sections in a batch.
Mm.
And then sometimes I actually keep wondering, like, where are they? And I ask them,
Mm.
they're all abroad. But the funny thing is because they had to go abroad because at the time, you know, there were no opportunities
Yeah.
here. It was a booming industry, but it was for people to go abroad, not necessarily
Yeah.
find and build a career here. And that's actually at this point, like fast forward to this time, even though we had opportunities to, you know, to win contracts that are more IT related, we
Mm-hmm.
actually couldn't find them. That's it. But anyway, going back, actually, you know, that reeled
No,
so
Ma,
far forward.
I think the reason why I said that is, and that's the reason why companies are also looking into the Philippines
Mm-hmm.
to source IT talent.
Mm-hmm.
Is because like way back, it was like
There was
computer
a yeah.
science, computer engineering. It was, and now there are a lot of talents here that do have that skill set. I mean,
That's true.
programming, you know that it's like highly sought
After yeah.
after,
To
and it's
quote
also
to,
highly skilled.
yeah, to quote a good to quote what did I say? To quote a good friend,
Mm.
I have to, to quote a good friend
Yeah,
because she said it. Hi
careful.
Oksana. No, I don't. I have options.
That's true.
She
They
said
do.
it with so much
I mean,
confidence, and I was like,
the
I
last
want
event that we were
confidence.
in I think this was with Payoneer.
Mhm.
I mean, they can even ask like what
They
they,
can ask for their. They
because
can
there's
name
so
their
much.
price. That's the term. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to get too far into the discussion without going back because we did say what are our thoughts, like what makes the Philippines best. So
Yes.
let's say culture and history. I'm not sure about the history. Why did we say history?
Uh,
Culture wise,
we
I
were. I
understand.
mean, okay, just a history lesson. We were
Annexed.
no
We were
colonized.
the Philippines wasn't
Colonized.
really the Philippines for the
No,
past 300
I mean,
years.
I think the Americans did kind of were here in the Philippines for about
10 years.
no 40
Really?
no oh, no. Because I remember this. The
Sorry
reason
to
why I
all my
remember
history
this is because
professors.
I think we're going over the place. But the reason why I remember this is because
Mm.
this is kind of personal. But my grandfather, their medium of instruction when he was little was
Was in
English.
English,
Nothing
yes.
else. Not even Filipino. Not even Spanish. English. Straight
Yeah.
English.
Yeah.
Like even in some parts of the country, right? Cebu,
Yeah.
they know English more than Filipino
No,
actually.
I do remember that. And there's a lot of sorry. Okay, give me your history. The Philippines was part of the US from something 1940. Yes? No?
No, no, no. I think
Anyone care to
they
fact check me?
they let us go 1940.
1940 something. And there was like that
But
Dwight Eisenhower-ish. No?
I'm trying to remember when they started.
I don't want to Google it,
Anyway,
honestly.
but they were
The
here
point-
for quite some
yes.
time.
To the point that our
Culture is
Culture-
very much influenced.
yeah, and still, you know, there's a ton of trace. There are traces of that still because
Not only
those
traces,
are our
because
grandfathers.
even the pop culture that we're consuming right now, the shows that we're consuming right now. I mean, I think with Netflix right now, we're also watching Korean like
No,
K dramas.
let me
But what
just-
I'm saying is the things that we are consuming right now, even the products, like some of them are from the US or from the other countries, and that's why we kind of do get the references.
Yes.
Like when they joke when
Do
they
they?
joke with the team, we do get their
Do
their
they?
references.
Yeah. No. Yes. I mean, all I was saying is that we are still at the tail end of that. Like I said, you said your grandfathers were, and my parents, as early as them, you know, their whole medium of instruction was all in English. Actually, if you watch pageants from way back in the day, you'd be surprised how fluent people are. It's
Yeah.
not the affected the kind that they do now, like, no, nothing against how pageants are being done now, but if you actually listen to the ones back then, English comes naturally to them, the accent, the fluidity, the way that they speak, and that's something that got passed on at least until, I guess pre millennial, no, millennial time, because we still had the benefit of being educated primarily through English. I mean,
Yeah.
I do remember at this point. When did that happen? You're a parent. When did they start that mother tongue medium of education? Like the first, if you're in the Visayas, your education, your primary education should be in Cebuano, something like that.
I don't know. I actually
No?
don't know. Yeah,
Well,
because
anyway.
we've always had Filipino classes.
Yes,
Like
no.
the traditional school. But
No,
I
what I
don't.
mean is
You
like
mean the
even if
dialect
yeah, like, even now, like you can only speak English if the subject
is English.
is English. But primarily, like if you're teaching, say, even science, the topic can be discussed in Filipino, except of course when it's unavoidable, like I don't know, elements or something like that. Anyway, that being that way, people grew up, even with Sesame Street, we had a really high literacy rate. People were speaking English mostly. A lot of foreigners were like, you know, come here, everybody's speaking English, even
Yeah.
if you're talking to like balut sellers. Every
Yeah,
people are
they'd
comfortable.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. They'd still understand, even though some like if we're sorry. If
So
we're talking
give
about,
give yourself a certain level of education. You're already a shoe in, to to train yourself just a little bit more. And that, I guess, that's one, culture wise, history wise, and people say we're hospitable.
Yeah,
friendly,
very much. Very
that
hospitable.
age old. I'll be happy to hospitalize you.
No, I mean a lot of people and a lot of foreigners do say this, that we are one of the friendliest places.
Or we,
I
we
said
are.
one of,
Yeah, we
right?
are.
One of. We are.
We are.
We
No, we
are.
really are. And I've been abroad. I've kind of been on the tail end of both hospitality and just plain rudeness. So not to mention the kind of color, but I don't think you'd ever see that here. I don't think you'd hear any foreign traveler talk about the Philippines in any negative light
Yeah.
when it comes to
Friendliness,
hospitality or
yeah,
friendliness.
yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that's what makes people naturally adapt at winning the hearts and minds of businesses. I would say that. So you have a large talent pool. You
Yeah.
have people. So I mean, you have a large talent pool. I mean, if anything, the Philippines is a country of resources. I think it's no. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
haven't
yeah.
you always like really seen the Philippines like that? Japan has technology.
Hmm.
The U.S. has innovation and inventions or patents at the very least. The Filipinos, what we have are resources. We
Resources,
have
yeah.
our people to, like send out to the world and bring money back to the Philippines. You have domestic helpers and but the only thing coming to my mind are domestic helpers. Wait, because that's the first. Nurses, sorry. Yes. Nurses, physical therapists, occupational therapists,
Yeah.
seafarers.
Is
Those
that
are the
like-
earliest. Those were the earliest. You know, people who were bringing in money and taking the families out of poverty and into the middle class.
I mean,
One of the-
just by you enumerating all of those things, it
Yeah.
does come. I do come to a realization that Filipinos are very, very service oriented, because
We
just being in the healthcare industry, you have to be very,
caregivers,
right?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You have to be very
that
service
evolved.
oriented.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That evolved from people saying that we're really great at both hospitality, communication skills. We're again service oriented, so it was an easy reach
Yes.
to train people in the healthcare industry, bring people. I actually remember back then I think so this was 20, maybe
Okay.
20 years ago. Yes,
Drop your age. Drop your
this is somewhere
age.
20 years ago.
You don't look like it.
No,
That's
this is
fine.
this is 20 years ago. I'm not. This is 20 years ago. But back then, people were like, earn $1,000 for healthcare. I mean, to be a caregiver,
Yeah.
that's 50,000. And so while people are being sent there, call centers are coming in, and
Mm.
then people are like, oh, they're great at English. Or if they're not
Yes.
great now, they're easily trainable because,
Yes.
again, English skills are like, it's a matter of being exposed to it and using it. And at this point, I just keep telling people, if you don't know how to speak English, go back to school. No, 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 don't go back to school. Go back to your school years and just try to remember how many years of English
English, yeah.
classes you actually took.
Yeah.
If from grade one, there was grade
Not even
English
grade
one.
one. Come on, not even grade one. Pre-nursery.
Let's just go back to the point that the actual medium. Preschool is preschool, but if you just go back to uh grade
Learning all
school,
the
you had at
grammar.
least 10 years, or at least for our age, you had at least
10
10
years. Now they have
years. Now they
12.
had 12 years
Actually,
of
14 if you count senior.
senior high. Oh, okay. So you have 14 years of English. What the heck have you been doing? So I mean, so that's the idea. Call centers would come in and say, "Let's go ahead and train you." It's easy to wake up
Yes, it's easy to wake up
the
that
sleeping
fluency.
beast.
Yeah, yeah, and I think because I think because I mean even when you look outside, right?
Mm.
Some of the stores are in English now. They do have a different language now, but most of the
You know how
company names are in English.
totally off topic. You go to a store and you always see that like your credit is good, but we need cash. Nothing. I just remember that like totally off topic. But yeah, English adaptness is
Yeah.
one of the biggest things.
Yes.
And let's not even say that you're looking for great English. It's just English.
Yes.
And
Highly
if I'm going
trainable.
to compare it, if I'm going to compare it with any other language I've heard, and mind you, I'm being very very sensitive to uh
Yes.
be working with clients
Yes.
that are multinational, multi-country. It's just you have to accept the fact that a lot of countries, especially if your business is in the US and you have
Mm.
US customers, they kind of get snooty about uh you know let's use the phrases. I don't want to talk to somebody from you know
Mm. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Well, yeah,
But
it happens.
and I think we're the ones who could best get away with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I would agree with that. I
Yeah.
actually would agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really do. Like personally, I was really confident coming in to the business because you got in right away and you always kind of get that compliment. It's like, where are you located? Like because sometimes,
Yeah, they
yeah,
would.
because the English is not perfect. I'm saying the English is not perfect. I'm not a native speaker. I
Yeah.
would miss out on some of the cues that make a native English speaker the
Yeah,
way
no,
they
yeah, yeah,
are.
yeah, yeah, yeah. True.
Yeah, but it's not like so they get a sense like I'm not talking to an American,
Mm-hmm.
but he's not.
But I
I guess
understand
it's the
him.
idea, but I
Yeah.
understand them. Nothing was rolling too far right or too
Mm.
far left. So when they say like, "Where are you from?" and then say, "I'm from the Philippines," which you technically can't say, but I mean, you can deny, but I would just go ahead and say I'm from the Philippines, and
Yes.
they're like, "Huh,
I mean, just to be very honest, I mean, even
talking with
Filipinos
our
that
clients."
are actually living abroad, do you have that same?
They do.
They still do have that same accent, and it's not. I
They
mean,
keep it. Yeah,
right?
you can't really get away from it.
And really, if we're talking about accents, like
You're talking about people who grew up here and then moved to the U.S.
we're all working in a global, like because of the
Yeah.
internet, and it's all global now. So
Yeah.
accents, it doesn't
I
really
don't
matter
think
anymore.
accents really matter as
Yeah.
much as they should at this point.
Yeah.
I still understand that there are a lot of companies who require that, but if you can pass like that certain modicum of English where you're understandable, the accent is
Yes.
neutral.
Yes.
That I mean, personally, I think that should be the bar.
Neutral.
Neutral.
Yeah.
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 And then if you veer a little bit to to your native accent, as long as you could pull it back. But going back, it's the adeptness.
Yes.
Even if you have to train for an accent, you can.
Yes.
So and that makes it again,
A lot,
very
very
desirable
yes,
to
very
like
desirable, very easy for
and
companies to
hello KGB. Di
get.
ba? I have a whole gamut of friends who are trained who trained to speak like British. No, that's too much.
Is that like a Downtown Abbey reference?
Yeah, that's the only one I know.
Because it went really high pitched, and I'm thinking about the main character now.
I wonder
Anyway.
if yeah, was is there ever a call center like uh because we're Irish?
Oh, I
I would
think yes.
die.
I think
They
yes.
do?
Yeah,
There
yeah,
are?
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Mm.
Really? Oh my god.
Yeah, talking about English here,
Oh.
right? But the other thing that I also notice is sometimes, since we do have some sort of background with Spanish as well, a little bit, but not all. But there are also contracts or clients that would need multilingual
Mhm.
people, and and we still find that talent here in the Philippines as well. I mean,
Yeah.
not as much as English for
That's
English
very
yeah,
few. I
but
remember they were
multi,
offering two
yeah,
super high salaries if you can
in
you're saying
multilingual,
multilingual
yeah,
like Spanish,
yes, French,
French,
yeah,
Japanese,
yes,
Spanish.
yes.
But I mean honestly for the most part I remember that those people would
You know what? Maybe
hire
if
low.
there was a client that wanted like Korean and Filipino, we'd probably find a lot. I'm joking, but
No,
yeah,
people have
maybe.
started learning Korean.
Yes, I
Yeah.
know. That's
But I
why.
remember back then, like if you needed multilingual people, like I remember Western Union needed Cambodians,
Yeah.
and they actually just hired Cambodians.
Oh, because yeah.
They literally just did. Like they went so far down the talent pool and said, "We couldn't find anybody. Let's just hire Cambodians." But anyway, I'm not exactly sure where this falls down, like government support. When you talk about what makes Filipinos the best in the BPO industry,
I
what
think
exactly does government
what
support have to do with
makes
it?
outsourcing or
Oh,
working with the
outsourcing
BPO,
industry attractive here, or
yeah,
what makes people want to put up a BPO center here? Okay,
yes.
that makes sense. Government support, but we don't get any.
Well,
I
that's
don't.
because
I wouldn't
I
know.
mean not right now, but we will be because we're moving to the in that direction. But
Yeah.
um,
Oh wait, I did Google something
mm,
and came up with some really good sources. Outsource Accelerator. They're really good
yeah,
resource if you
yeah,
wanted to
about the
find.
BPO industry, yeah.
Yeah, I mean I always get
Just keep
their
dropping
newsletter.
names. Keep dropping names, Francis.
I should know. I
No.
mean,
Hi,
if
Derek
I
Gallimore.
it was a guy that we met during the Pioneer Talk.
Arnold, I think. Arnold.
I think I'm trying to remember. I mean, yeah. Hi.
But anyway,
I mean,
coming to a point.
we literally met for a fraction of the time
Yes.
because we were like in different groups back
Anyway,
then.
yeah.
But yes, so going back, where were we in
Uh,
terms of government support? Let's
yes.
say one, and I remember this same talk. IBPAP said that what BPOs get
Mm,
when you come here and set up a BPO is like you get a ton of benefits, like a ton.
yes.
Um, and but
Tax
that
breaks.
tax breaks, benefits. I think you're allowed like a tax holiday for several years, which is great if
Yeah.
if you're putting in like a super huge investment.
Yeah.
You're putting up buildings, hiring thousands
Thousands of
of
yeah.
people, and like Accenture alone has like 1 million people right now. I mean, I know that they have 1 million people who are working from home.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like just a fraction of the number of people that they have. But the idea is you are getting so many tax breaks to incentivize yourself to I mean as an incentive to bring your business
Yes, to
here.
bring your business
Yeah.
here and put up a BPO.
That's a great.
Yeah.
I think that was a great
Move.
move
Yeah.
to encourage companies to move here. I mean, even if you give them 5 years to to get settled, I guess, and you even get
And I think
tax breaks for their
it's a
expats.
win-win because if they bring their business here, it means a lot of employment
Yeah,
for
super
Filipinos.
long term.
Yeah.
And a lot of these companies are now what like 25 years, 20
Mm.
no, not
No, not
25.
25.
Well, let's say a minimum 10 10 years
No,
now.
probably about 16 because when I started working, it was the start of the.
Okay, so VXI was, I think, a few years in when I
Mm.
came in back in 2004. I knew that they were setting up. Uh, I mean, they were still relatively trying to
New. Yeah,
establish
yeah.
because it was in the U.S. They brought their business here. They started with AT&T. They did outbound, and then they just exploded
Yeah.
in the coming years. So that was 2004. So let's say 2000. I'll have to go back to their website, but it can't be any further than that. Philippines wise. So 2023, 23 years.
No. Nice. Nice.
Wow. But so if they did get those tax breaks in the beginning,
They
that
would
means
have, yeah.
by now the Philippines as a country has already gotten back a lot of those incentives in terms of like number of jobs
Yes.
provided.
True.
And I knew for a fact that they started out in RCBC. They had the 16th floor, the 17th floor, then maybe the 18th floor. I can't try to
It's
remember.
funny how you know like the small details of these companies, but
I
you
do.
cannot remember
My
Philippine
own
history.
birth. Oh,
Your own birth.
well, technically that's history for me as well.
Yeah, I
And I
know,
even
but
remember.
that's the reason why it's funny how you know like the companies. But anyway, going
No,
back.
actually, just one smaller, tinier tidbit. I remember, um, that they were opening up the 18th floor, and I looked at the, uh, I just went there. I can't remember why I did, and I was like, this floor is being rented out, and this it costs like 1 million rental. Because my God, they're renting 1 million pesos for the for the
The their
entire
floor.
floor. Little did I know back then. I mean, I was just trying to. I was getting the I was getting like a monthly of 10,000. You get 5,000 for perfect
Yeah.
attendance. Oh my God. Oh my God.
Okay.
Anyway, just
So
going back.
let's summarize every yeah.
Summarize. Yes,
Every,
please. What makes the Philippines one of the best? Number one,
culture.
culture. No, I mean, I'm gonna tie that back. Resources.
Yes.
The resources because of
Talent
the
pool. Yeah.
culture, the level of English skill.
Yes.
We're still, if you look at the history facts, we're still 90% English literate.
Yes.
Still,
Still.
might change. But anyway, uh, the skill set.
Yes.
We've invested a lot in courses, degrees, technologies
Yes.
that actually prove to be
Useful for yeah, yeah.
useful now. Like if you're still thinking
We're pretty much
nursing, why not?
updated what's needed globally.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we
amazing.
are.
Listen to your parents when they say, take this course. I mean, it makes sense eventually. I mean, right now, people are taking what they really want and it's needed, software
Yes.
development, design,
Mm-hmm.
data science,
Animation.
animation. You
Yeah.
like, who knew that, you thought your son was going to be a deadbeat because he kept drawing manga, but now he was like, earning because he's selling
I
drawings,
mean,
drawing
gaming
cartoons.
development. That's why
Gaming!
I
Oh
look
my
like it's
goodness!
anyway. Anyway, let's
It's an
yeah,
entirely
it's
different
very
topic altogether. But yes, going back. What makes the Philippines attractive as a BPO destination? Again,
mm,
you have that large talent pool,
yes,
and you're thoroughly incentivized to set up a business
yes,
here. And I mean,
absolutely.
what does that? I mean, how does that tie into us? I mean, even as a fallout, because of the Philippines' reputation for that great talent pool,
Mm-hmm.
the smaller companies who are winning. Obviously we're not winning clients who need 200, 300 seats at
Not
a
right now.
time. Yeah, but like I said, it doesn't hurt that we're riding on that
Yes,
reputation.
we are.
Yeah.
Here.
I mean, we're not coming into a conversation with a potential client that
Having to
having to prove that we
yeah.
have the talent and resources
Yes.
available. You think that you're presenting yourself and saying that the people are gonna be like me, or this is our business model and we know that kind of talent. They're coming in with that same mindset that yes, the Philippines has great talent, and maybe we're being the face of the company. we've really always told ourselves that we have to prove that when we're talking to them, the face of the company has the backing of the same
Yeah.
the kind of people that the kind of talent that we source for is sourceable,
Yes.
and we can fulfill on the promise. So I guess
Yeah.
that those
That
are
actually perfectly
sums
sums
it
that
up.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, thank
I'm
you so much
exhausted.
for yeah, thank you so much for listening in. Please follow us on YouTube. This is going to be on YouTube, same name, outsourcing and more.
We're gonna
Uh,
list down all of our socials. So
yes.
please feel free to follow. This has been again outsourcing and more. We have been your hosts. My name is Francis,
My name is Penny.
and thank you for tuning in. See you on the next episode. Bye.